Jennifer?
That'd be really fantastic.
Okay.
I'm sorry, George, you are muted.
Okay, I see it's being recorded now, so I see a red light going, so
Okay, there we go. Okay,
there
so
you go.
thank you all for your patience. And
Okay.
I am recording as far as I know. It's the first time I've ever done that.
It should show on your screen that I'm recording, but if it
Yep,
doesn't,
it is.
okay, good. All right, so I think we can go right ahead with our tribute to Paul, and then we'll be able to share that with him if he doesn't get back on the line.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, anyway, we would like to pay a tribute to Paul as the founding member of the East Shore Planning Group and thank him for his many years of service to the East Shore of Marshall and the community. So we would like to officially present Paul Elmore with the following resolution, which I will read so he can hear it. Whereas for over 4 decades, Paul Elmore has diligently served and led the East Shore planning community. Whereas his longtime role as an East Shore Planning Group director, as its president and heading up of East Shore Planning Group's development committee, Paul has diligently provided leadership to the East Shore community, including participating in the development of the 1980s local coastal program for our area, co-founding the East Shore Planning Group in 1984, directing a survey in 1983 to 84 as part of the development of the East Shore Community Plan, and leading the East Shore Group to adopt the plan in 1987. Actively participating and leading the East Shore Planning Group in the development of the Marshall Community Septic Program, and leading the East Shore Planning Group as we begin to consider the many issues involved in amending the LCP. Whereas in the course of such service and on many other occasions, Paul has contributed his wisdom, knowledge, experience, and wit to matters affecting the East Shore community and its residents. Whereas Paul has recently resigned as a director of the East Shore Planning Group, now therefore it be resolved that the East Shore Planning Group hereby expresses its gratitude for all Paul has contributed to the East Shore Planning Group and to the Marshall community, and wishes him all the best for the future. Thank you from all of us with all our hearts, Paul.
I move that we adopt that resolution and present it to Paul with this certificate.
Second.
Charles has seconded.
I think it might have been Tom Flynn.
Oh, Tom Flynn seconded.
Was on there earlier, but they had an emergency. That's super.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Wave your hand.
Aye.
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 Unanimous.
Yes. And I think now it would be really nice to open it up to anybody who feels and wants to say a tribute to Paul. He really has given a lot to this organization, and being a founding member has really contributed so much to this community, and gonna miss having him as a director.
Oh, I would like, yes, I think I'm unmuted. Good. Can you hear me? Yes. You know, I've worked with Paul on many, many things, and I really appreciate his patience. And his wit, as you mentioned, you know, in your statement about him. One of the things I'd like to say is that he always tried to be fair. He really tried to be fair when we had all these conflicts with the farmland bill or whatever. He would bring people to come so they could present their ideas, and he would very fairly ask them. And I feel very privileged to have known him, know him, and to work with him.
And I second all of those points. You know, I think that Paul has just been a real rock in our community. He's been a a source of wisdom and patience and understanding. He's been fun. I really think that he's always really sought the truth, and I think that's part of this fairness. I mean, I think he really, he has strong principles and strong beliefs, but I think he's really tried to seek out what is true and fair and just in our community. And I think for that reason, he also was very worthy of his nickname, which was the Mayor of Marshall. And I think we should always think of him as that, because I don't know anyone else who could have come up with, that title for our community. So thank you, Paul.
I'd just like to say I went on that subject of truth, Tom. I went back and read the East Shore Community Plan. At the end is an appendix, which is a survey of the residents that Paul and his partner at the time did of all the residents in Marshall as to their views of this community and its future. And at that time, it was in flux as it is now, with many of the same issues being presented. And Paul had a very interesting survey. All the questions were very right on, and he recorded everybody's responses, not by name, but in a way that you really get a story from reading it. And I think that was influential in the basic birth of the East Shore Community Plan, which occurred just after that. So congratulations, Paul. When I came, I was wearing shorts, just little flannel shorts, and you were the senior guy, and I still look up to you.
I see Lori Caldwell.
Yes, I would like to, hello all, first of all. I would like to express the deepest of gratitude to Paul Elmore. When I came to the East Shore for the first time, 2004, when we arrived, I knew nothing, and I thought about the complexity of the issues, the number of agencies that have jurisdiction. And so I thought, well, I'll do a little community participation and get to know my neighbors. And throughout this whole process, which also include the septic wars, Paul was patient, took such time and care to explain each level until I got up, I won't even say up to speed, but further along with my understanding. So he was a patient teacher. He had a long vision for our community, and to this day, we are benefiting from it, including our septic system, which most towns wouldn't be proud of, but one of the reasons we're still there is because of that public and private partnership. So Paul was a wonderful mentor to us, and he worked steadily. He pulled his weight every year. No drama, you can count on Paul. So Paul, thank you very much. Through you, I came to know the nuances and the neighbors, all of which are subtle and wonderful. So thank you very much, Paul.
It looks like Paul rejoined us.
Yeah.
Good.
I'd say one thing, and it is a miracle. Here, by the grace of Paul, go I. But Paul always gave credit to Ellen Strauss for his belief in fairness and humor in public meetings and not making enemies and being conciliatory and trying to bring everyone along together rather than have conflicts, because you never knew who were going to be your allies in the future. So don't make enemies now. But you can speak for yourself, Paul, if you like.
Yep. You have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself, Paul.
You're muted.
Paul,
Oh,
yeah, he's muted.
Yeah, you can hit the space bar on your computer or click on the mute button.
Okay.
I did it.
Charles and everybody else, the person who should get most of the credit for the East Shore Planning Group was a woman by the name of Beth Shores.
Huh.
who is in San Anselmo now, but who recruited me and got me going and was really the voice behind the elder women of the community at the time who put together the East Shore Planning Group. So that's kind of what I have to say. And I thank her. Go ahead.
Well, you still have the jeweled scepter from when you led a parade through town. With
That's true.
a plunger encrusted in jewels.
And you carried it all forward, and you were persistent and devoted. And we are so thankful that we live in your legacy.
Well, I hope I see you all Sunday, and I thank you very much.
Charles, you want to mention the Sunday event to everybody?
Yeah, I was going to say, and I'm so glad Marshall and Vivian are here. We're going to have a get together outside. Marshall and Vivian's place has got lots of beautiful outdoor spots, so people can be as far apart as is safe and reasonable, and have a little party for Paul. And since, you know, no sense in having too many surprises, I got a friend, Myron Cohen, who has a jazz trio in the Bay Area, who's agreed to come up and play in the early afternoon.
Fantastic.
From 1 to 3 o'clock, the Myron Cohen trio is going to play. We're going to, Galen Woodruff and I are going to move a upright piano, I think into Marshall and Vivian's garden, and they're going to play for a couple of hours for us. I think it'll be a really great time. If anybody wants to bring a picnic or a bottle of wine, maybe bring your own glassware and that kind of thing. And if people want to be very separate as is sensible, then this is an ideal location. So thank you so much, Marshall and Vivian, and I hope to see all of you on Sunday.
Charles?
Yes, I fed the cat. What do you want? I fed the cat.
Just put the brakes on my wheelchair.
You won't actually have to wheel yourself up the driveway, which is unreasonable.
It is.
The real show is going to watch you get that piano up the driveway. For those of
Marshall. I was just going to say I was going to offer my help to Charles if he'd like any help with that. You just be sure and call me there, Charles.
the
I'm
house,
not sure what direction your help would be.
I think I'm going to find phone numbers disconnected on Sunday morning when I ask people to help me get that piano up the driveway. But no, Galen has a truck, so and Galen's also a piano tuner, so the piano will be tuned, and a young bassist who performs at SF Jazz, and a local pianist in the Bay Area, and then Myron Cohen has been a drummer in the Bay Area for about 45, 50 years, and is a friend of Tootie Heath, and Paul Elmore was a dear friend of Percy Heath's, the bassist for MJQ. So they've got a jazz family connection. But anyway, that'll be 1 to 3 p.m. 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday.
And that's at 19570 Shoreline Highway, right?
22.
That's correct, 19570. Anybody who can park down on the road and not be in the driveway, that is ideal. But you may need crampons to get up, so you know.
it's 7 telephone poles north of Marshall's store. And it's,
May we,
Thank you very much.
we're
I'm gonna
in,
sign off, but thank you very much. We'll see you Sunday.
yes, may we bring something to the meal to add to whatever you're serving?
I don't know that, I mean,
For
Ask
yourself.
Charles.
oh, Lori, I mean, I could, of course, with the doctor and his wife's permission, maybe fire up the grill and throw something on it. But I thought maybe people will bring a little picnic or some things for themselves, or a bottle of wine if that's they want to drink, so that people can be as far apart as they need to be. So but I can put some things on as well. Maybe make some tri-tips or something.
Paul, I can't be there in person. This is Becky, but just we'll be there in spirit. And thank you so much for all your odd couple years being such good friends with Joe.
Give Marshall my love.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
No, Becky. Okay.
No, she wasn't there.
Let's see, maybe we should go back to gallery view and see if anybody else wants to
I think
add
we're all-
anything to that.
Yeah, you can go to gallery view yourself.
Yeah,
And I think
okay.
the next thing is election of members of the board of directors that somebody else has to propose because you and I are on the slate.
Right. Do you want to continue recording at this point, or you want to
No,
stop?
I'll turn it off
Yeah.
if there's nothing further for Paul's
Yeah.
tribute.
Does anybody else have anything they want to add to his tribute before we stop recording? I guess a lot was said already, so, okay.